Right now, millions of people are stuck in the same cycle. They wake up tired, chase a temporary high, and call it living. But deep down, they know they're wasting their strength, their future, their purpose. Cocaine, weed, alcohol, all of it. It gives you a fake sense of control, when in reality, it's controlling you. The problem we're going to solve today is simple: how to stop escaping life through drugs and start rising above it. Because you weren't born to be numb. You were born to be unstoppable. You think the high is your escape. You think that little bag, that little white powder, that line you put up your nose, it's giving you power, control, freedom. But let's get real. It's lying to you. Cocaine, drugs, whatever you call it, it's not your friend. It's not your escape. It's not your solution. It's the trap. It's the lie that convinces you you're flying when in reality, you're falling fast. The illusion of the high is the biggest scam ever sold to mankind. It tells you just one hit and you'll feel better. Just one hit and the stress will disappear. Just one hit and you'll finally be alive. But here's the truth. That hit doesn't give you life. It steals it. It robs you of your energy, your focus, your discipline. It robs you of your tomorrow. That high doesn't make you strong. It makes you weak. You're not rising, you're sinking. You're not escaping, you're enslaved. Every time you chase that feeling, you're trading your purpose for poison. You're trading your goals for a ghost. And here's the real slap in the face, you know it. Deep down, when the high fades and the silence hits, when you're sitting in that dark room alone, you know you've been fooled. You know the feeling doesn't last. You know you're weaker now than you were an hour ago. But the addiction keeps whispering, go again. One more time. And you believe it because the illusion is strong. You see, the high is never about the drug. It's about avoiding the truth. It's about numbing the pain you don't want to face. It's about silencing the voice in your head that you're not doing enough, that you're not living up to who you could be. Drugs don't take away the pain of life. They just delay it. And when it comes back harder, heavier, uglier. That's the problem with cocaine and every drug like it. It gives you a fake shortcut. You think it's boosting your energy, your focus, your drive. But it's fake fuel. It burns out faster than fire on gasoline. It leaves you empty, craving more, needing another hit just to feel normal. You're not moving forward. You're stuck in a loop, running in circles, burning yourself out while life passes you by. And here's the hardest truth. You can't get high enough to escape reality. No matter how much you use, no matter how hard you chase it, life is still there waiting for you. The bills are still there. The broken promises are still there. The people you hurt are still there. And the man or woman in the mirror, the one you're trying to avoid, that person is still there. The high doesn't erase reality. It just hides it for a few minutes. And every time it comes back, it's worse. You know what cocaine really is? It's a thief. It steals your potential, one hit at a time. It steals your mornings, your energy, your money, your relationships, your respect. It steals your ability to grind, to push, to become who you were meant to be. It tricks you into thinking you're alive, when really you're dying from the inside out. That's the illusion. You want to know what's real. Real is waking up early and putting in work when you don't feel like it. Real is facing the pain head on instead of running from it. Real is building a life you don't need to escape from. Real is walking into the storm, not snorting something to pretend it's gone. Real is looking in the mirror and saying, I don't need a substance to feel powerful. I am power. That's what the high can never give you. That's what cocaine can never sell you. But here's the scary part. You will never rise higher until you destroy the illusion. Until you admit that the high is fake, that it's an enemy, that it's the chain around your neck dragging you down, you'll never be free. You've been told the high makes you fearless, but the truth is it makes you afraid of life. Afraid to face yourself. Afraid to deal with the struggle. Afraid to own your mistakes. And fear is exactly how it keeps you chained. The illusion will keep calling you, whispering in your ear, telling you it's the answer. But every time you listen, you get weaker, not stronger. You think you're escaping, but you're digging your own grave. And if you don't kill that illusion now, it will kill you later. That's the truth no one wants to say out loud. Cocaine doesn't just steal time. It steals lives. Pain. That's the thing nobody wants to talk about. That's the thing you keep running from every single time you reach for that bag, that bottle, that pill. You think the drug is solving your pain, but it's not. It's hiding it. It's covering it up with a thin blanket of lies. And here's the ugly truth. The more you hide from pain, the stronger it gets. The more you run from it, the faster it chases you. You can't numb your way to strength. You can't avoid your way to greatness. You've got to face the pain. Raw, direct, with no filter. Because pain is not your enemy, it's your teacher. Pain is not there to break you, it's there to build you. But every time you reach for a high, you're rejecting the lesson. You're saying, I'd rather feel nothing than grow. I'd rather escape than fight. And that's why you stay stuck. That's why nothing changes. Here's the problem: people believe the lie that life should feel good all the time. That happiness is a constant state. That success comes without struggle. And when life starts crushing them, when the job sucks, when the relationship fails, when the body aches, when the mind feels heavy, they run. They look for the shortcut. They look for the chemical escape. They say, I can't take this pain. But the truth is, you can. You just don't want to. Facing real pain means looking straight in the things you've been avoiding. It means owning your failures, owning your mistakes, owning your weakness, and saying, I'm not hiding anymore. Do you know how many people waste years because they don't want to face themselves? They'd rather stay high, stay numb, stay blind, than sit with the discomfort of reality. And then they wonder why their life never changes. Pain is the price of progress. Pain is the cost of becoming stronger. When you train, your muscles tear, they burn, they scream. But that's how they grow. When you grind for your dream, you face rejection, you face setbacks, you face nights when you think it's never going to work. But that's how you learn. That's how you build resilience. That's how you build grit. Without pain, there's no transformation. Without pain, there's no power. So when you hide behind cocaine, what you're really doing is saying, I don't want to pay the price. I don't want to carry the weight. You're outsourcing your strength to a chemical that will never deliver. And that's why when the high fades, you feel weaker than before. Because you didn't face the storm, you dodged it. And storms never go away until you walk through them. Let me tell you something. You've got to stop making pain your enemy. You've got to start making it your fuel. Every great person, every warrior, every champion, every leader, what do they all have in common? They suffered. They faced the dark nights, the heavy weight, the broken bones, the broken hearts. They faced the voices that told them to quit, and they didn't escape it. They embraced it. They said, this pain is here to shape me. This pain is here to sharpen me. This pain is here to show me what I'm made of. When you feel like you can't take it anymore, that's when the growth starts. That's when you tap into the part of yourself you've been avoiding. That's when you stop being a victim of your pain and start becoming a master of it. Drugs can never give you that. Cocaine can never give you that. All they give you is a temporary pause button, but life doesn't pause. Pain doesn't pause. It just waits for you to wake up. And when you do, it hits even harder. You want to know how to beat addiction. You stop running. You stop hiding. You sit with the pain. You listen to it. You let it tear you down, and then you rebuild. You let it strip away your excuses, your lies, your comfort, until all that's left is the real you. And the real you, the one buried under fear, under weakness, under addiction, that person is unstoppable. That person doesn't need a high to rise higher. That person turns pain into power every single day. You don't need to fear pain. You need to fear comfort. Comfort is the silent killer. Comfort is what makes you reach for drugs in the first place. Comfort whispers, don't face it. Don't fight it. Just relax. Just escape. But comfort kills potential. Comfort buries dreams. Comfort robs you of greatness. Pain, on the other hand, that's the gift. It's the signal that you're alive, that you're growing, that you're becoming more. So stop running. Stop numbing. Stop escaping. Face the real pain. Face the truth. Because the truth is, the pain you're avoiding is the exact thing that will set you free. Addiction is not just about the drug. It's about the deal you've made with yourself. You've made a deal with weakness. You've made a deal with comfort. You've made a deal with that little voice in your head that says, just one more line, just one more night. You'll quit tomorrow. And that's the problem. Tomorrow never comes because every tomorrow becomes another excuse. Every tomorrow becomes another broken promise. And you wonder why you feel powerless. The truth is, you don't have a drug problem, you have a discipline problem. Cocaine isn't stronger than you. Weed isn't stronger than you. Alcohol isn't stronger than you. You're just not disciplined enough to fight back. And discipline is the one thing that separates the people who break free from the people who stay chained for life. Discipline means do what you don't want to do when you don't feel like doing it. Discipline means waking up when your mind screams for more sleep. Discipline means saying no when your body begs for a hit. Discipline means creating a system so strong that temptation has no room to breathe. Discipline is not about motivation. It's about commitment. Motivation fades. Discipline doesn't. Motivation gets you started. Discipline keeps you going. Addiction is a routine, a ritual that you've carved into your life. You've trained your brain to chase the high. You've wired your body to expect it. That means the only way out is to retrain yourself with new rituals. You need to create a new identity, a new story about who you are. Because right now, every time you cave to that drug, you're confirming the identity of someone weak, someone who runs, someone who hides. You're reinforcing the belief that you can't win. But when you start stacking disciplined actions, even small ones, you start telling yourself a different story. You start proving to yourself that you can fight, you can win, you can rise. And don't get it twisted. Discipline doesn't feel good in the beginning. It feels brutal. It feels like dragging yourself through fire. You'll crave, you'll shake, you'll sweat, you'll scream in silence. Every cell in your body will beg you to go back to the comfort of the high. But that's where discipline steps in. That's where you look that craving in the eye and say, not today. That's where you push past the weakness and remind yourself who the hell you are. Look at any warrior, any champion, any great leader. They all had addictions of their own to beat. Maybe not drugs, maybe not alcohol, but comfort, laziness, fear, self-doubt. And what did they do? They built systems of discipline that didn't give their weakness a chance. They created structure. They locked into routines. They woke up early. They trained hard. They faced the grind. And every time they wanted to quit, they pushed harder. That's what made them unbreakable. You've got to do the same. You've got to build a routine that replaces the high. When the craving hits, you don't sit there and negotiate with it. You act. You hit the gym. You go for a run. You journal your rage onto paper. You do push-ups until your arms collapse. You make discipline louder than your addiction. Because discipline is a muscle, and the more you use it, the stronger it gets. And let me tell you something, discipline is freedom. You think drugs make you free. You think cocaine makes you powerful. No, that's a lie. That's a cage. That's chains around your neck. True freedom is when you control yourself. True freedom is when you're no longer a slave to cravings. True freedom is when you know you can say no and mean it. That's the kind of strength no drug can give you. That's the kind of strength that only discipline can build. Here's the thing. People say, I can't quit. It's too hard. The cravings are too strong. No, the cravings aren't too strong. You're too weak with discipline. And weakness is not permanent. Weakness can be trained into strength. But you've got to choose it. You've got to practice it. You've got to make it your daily grind. Discipline is forged in the small moments. The moments where nobody's watching, where it's just you and your choice. Do you take the hit or do you take control? You want to rise higher than the high. Then you've got to sacrifice the temporary pleasure for permanent power. You've got to stop thinking discipline is punishment. Discipline is the gift. Discipline is the weapon. Discipline is the shield that keeps you standing when everything inside you wants to fall. And once you build it, nothing, no drug, no craving, no weakness can take you down. When people chase a drug, what they're really chasing is elevation. They want to feel higher than the life they're stuck in. They want to escape the weight of their past, the boredom of their present, the fear of their future. Cocaine, alcohol, pills, they all whisper the same lie. I'll take you higher. I'll give you freedom. I'll give you strength. But what do they really give you? A 5-minute escape followed by a lifetime of consequences. That's not rising higher. That's sinking lower and deeper into the hole you swore you'd never fall into. Rising higher than the high isn't about escaping reality. It's about dominating it. It's about taking the same energy you waste chasing fake pleasure and using it to build a life so powerful, so full of meaning, that no drug could ever compete with it. When you rise higher, you don't need a line of cocaine to feel unstoppable. You wake up knowing you already are. But here's the truth nobody wants to hear. Rising higher than the high requires pain, real pain. Not the numbing pain of a drug crash, not the hangover fog, but the raw, unfiltered pain of facing yourself. You have to look in the mirror and admit that you've been weak. Admit that you've been running. Admit that you've been lying to yourself. That takes courage. That takes guts. Because only when you own the truth can you start climbing out of the hole. You rise higher by facing the suffering, not running from it. Every craving you resist, every temptation you kill, every weakness you choke out, it becomes a stepping stone. Every time you win that battle, you rise. And the higher you rise, the stronger you get. It's not glamorous, it's not pretty, and it's not easy. It's sweat, tears, sleepless nights, and a voice inside your head screaming at you to give in. But every time you don't give in, you're rising higher than the fake high ever could take you. And let me tell you this, there's no drug in the world that can match the natural high of discipline, of achievement, of purpose. When you train your body until your lungs are on fire, when you grind your mind until it's sharper than steel, when you set a goal so high people laugh at you, and then you smash it, that's a high no chemical can give you. That's the kind of high that doesn't fade when the night ends. That's the kind of high that doesn't turn into shame the next morning. That's the kind of high that builds a legacy. Rising higher than the high means living for something bigger than yourself. Drugs make you small. Drugs shrink your vision. Drugs lock you inside your own head. But purpose expands you. Purpose makes you limitless. When you dedicate yourself to something that outlives you, your family, your dreams, your mission, suddenly the craving for cocaine looks pathetic compared to the mountain you're climbing. Suddenly, the idea of wasting your life in a haze feels disgusting compared to the fire of chasing greatness. The world doesn't need another wasted life. The world doesn't need another man or woman who had potential but threw it away for a line on a table. The world needs fighters. The world needs warriors. The world needs people who choose to rise higher. And that can be you. Not tomorrow, not someday, but now. You have everything you need inside of you. The same energy that fuels your addiction is the same energy that can fuel your rise. The difference is how you direct it. You've got to create your own higher state, your own unshakable strength. That means finding meaning in the grind. That means chasing growth instead of escape. That means proving to yourself every single day that you can do hard things without crutches, without shortcuts, without poisons. Rising higher means turning your pain into power, your weakness into wisdom, your past into fuel. And let me make this clear. You're not just fighting to quit drugs. You're fighting to build a life so high, so elevated, so unbreakable that you'll never even think about going back. You're fighting to rise into a version of yourself that looks down at your old habits and laughs. You're fighting to rise into a person who inspires others to climb out of their own holes. That's rising higher than the high. That's living at a level no drug could ever give you. You've seen the illusion. You know now that the high is nothing but smoke and mirrors. A cheap trick that steals your strength, your clarity, your future. You've faced the truth that pain is not your enemy, it's your fuel. You've learned that discipline, not cocaine, is what gives you real control. And you've seen that rising higher isn't about escaping. It's about owning your life, building purpose, and becoming something unstoppable. So the choice is sitting right in front of you. You can keep chasing that fake high. Keep throwing your life away one line at a time. Keep believing the same lies that got you here. Or you can rise. You can step into the fire, embrace the suffering, and use it to build the kind of life no drug could ever touch. This isn't about being perfect. This isn't about pretending you're not tempted. This is about deciding that you are done letting weakness run your life. This is about choosing strength, choosing discipline, choosing to rise higher every single day. Because the truth is, nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's going to walk into your room, rip the drugs out of your hand, and build the life you dream about. That's your job. That's your responsibility. That's your fight. And you either fight like hell, or you stay chained to the same cycle forever. You were not born to be another statistic. You were not born to live numbstuck, forgotten. You were born to rise, to lead, to inspire, to build something so powerful, so unshakable, that when people look at you, they see living proof that the human spirit is stronger than any drug, any excuse, any weakness. So stop chasing fake highs. Stop giving away your power. Stop running from the pain. It's time to rise higher. Higher than the temptation, higher than the struggle, higher than the lies. It's time to become the kind of person who doesn't just survive addiction. You destroy it. You rise above it. And you show the world what real strength looks like.